Beautiful people, good morning. Good morning. We haven't done a morning live stream in quite some time. So I figured we'd do one this morning. We're going to be talking about panic attacks and high anxiety. Panic attacks and high anxiety, how exactly to go about dealing with panic attacks and high anxiety. It'll be interesting to see who gets first in chat today. It's always these morning streams are always quite interesting. I get to see a lot of new faces that I don't really recognize. So these morning streams are a good way to get to know everybody in different time zones. Olivia, welcome. Olivia's going to get first in chat today. Good morning, Olivia. How are you doing? Hey, what, bro? What's good? What's up, AC? Welcome. Hey, bro. Hope you're well. What's up, Rahul? Welcome, dude. Hope you guys are having a lovely morning. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about panic attacks and high anxiety. And the reason I put panic attacks and high anxiety together there and not just panic attacks like I had originally planned was because sometimes we do experience high intense anxiety symptoms or maybe even intrusive thoughts. We have moments where those kind of reach a peak, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it turns into a panic attack, and that's why I kind of grouped them together there, dealing with both panic attacks and high anxiety, because they are more or less the same. They're not the same, right? Having a panic attack is not the same as being anxious or just very anxious. They're not the same, but they are more or less handled the same. They are handled the same, actually. So, kind of just group them together. We don't really show a whole lot of love, right? We don't really show a whole lot of love to just panic attacks in particular here on this channel. We've talked about them plenty of times in the past, but I feel like we need more streams available, more videos in the catalog that deal with specifically panic attacks, because not everyone who comes to this channel is dealing with necessarily sensitization. I realize that some people that come here just have the occasional panic attack. So we're going to be talking about that this morning. 2 p.m. here, perfect time. What's up, Mint? It's good to see you. Hi, Wonder Bro. Hello, welcome. Hey, brother. Hope you're well. Could do with this stream today. I'm a little bit anxious. We'll strap in. It's going to be a good one. I'm good, Wonder Bro. How are you? I am good, Olivia. I've been knocking out some remodeling here recently. I've been doing a lot of cleaning this morning, and then just sat down and was like, you know what? Let's knock out a stream while we're at it. Good morning, Travis. How you doing? What's good? What's good, Ghost? Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome. I did drop the Discord notifications, correct? Yes. Yes. Okay, I did do that. Before we get started this morning, let me grab the link to our Discord and drop that in the chat for anybody who wants to join us over there. By the way, if you are fairly new here, right, and you don't catch the streams live, you have to watch them after the fact. I know you probably don't want to sit through the intro. I mean, maybe you do. That's when I announce like channel announcements if I have anything like that. But if you don't want to sit through the intro, you can wait until right here, right here. You can wait until this disappears when you're kind of skipping through there trying to find the start of the stream. You can wait until this disappears, and that's how you know you're on to whatever is in the title there. Yes, you did. Okay, good. I'm on top of things today. Loving the Halloween theme. Yes, 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 yes. Love it. I feel like knowing how to deal with panic attacks is probably a good thing in avoiding sensitization. So basically what you're saying there is knowing how to handle and approach panic attacks will probably save people a lot of stress that may lead to tired nerves. I get what you're saying. Good morning, Kate. Good morning. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Chat is actually pretty full for a morning stream. That normally doesn't happen, so it's going to be a good day today. I can feel it. All right, guys. Like I said, we don't normally show panic attacks specifically. If I could talk today, that would be great. We don't normally talk about panic attacks specifically. There we go. Here on the channel, we talk a lot about sensitization, tired nerves, and the long recovery process that takes with acceptance and the two main keys. But we don't show a whole lot of love to panic attacks in general. So we're going to talk about that today just so I can have a couple panic attack streams for people that are not necessarily here for sensitization but are here because they suffer the occasional panic attack from time to time. So trying to spread it out and show some love to everybody no matter what they got going on. Wonder Bro, how do you do your one-on-one sessions? First things first, you got to toss me a DM. Get up with me on my social media. The best way, honestly, is Discord. If you don't have Discord, consider making one. If you don't want to make a Discord, consider toss me a message over on the Instagram, vacate for your Instagram, vacate for your Facebook page, even Twitter. Although I'll say Twitter is probably your worst option. I don't check Twitter a whole lot, but so first things first, toss me a DM, and I'll do my best to get back with you, and we'll discuss that. Anybody out there who's interested in a one-on-one, I do them over the phone. So if you're interested in that, toss me a DM. We'll talk about it. All right, guys. Let's see here. I think chat is about as full as it's going to get. So let's go ahead, get rid of that. That means we have officially began. So dealing with panic attacks and high anxiety. Now, like I said earlier, I've got them bunched together there because I know that, high anxiety can kind of mimic panic. They're not the same thing, but you could say they're more or less, it's in the same ballpark, right? So I've got high anxiety there with panic attacks. Now, how do we deal with it, right? How do we deal with it? How do we approach it? How do we go about these high intensity symptoms? Now, if you've been here for a while, you know as far as anxiety in general goes, sensitization, and I'm not saying that tired nerves can't be intense. It can be, right? Tired nerves can be very intense. But what I am saying, if you've been here for a while, you know about acceptance. But let's get into those moments where it seems to go through the roof, right? Let's go into those moments where it seems like the physical symptoms are on very high intensity. Let's talk about those moments when the thoughts are on very high intensity. Let's talk about panic attacks. Now, acceptance. If you came here expecting a different answer than what I tell people as far as tired nerves go, the journey of healing your nerves, you might be a little bit disappointed, but we are going to go into it a little bit more than we normally do involving panic attacks. So acceptance, of course, first and foremost, is always going to be your go-to. Now, I know in those moments when the panic attacks you and blindsides you, right? I don't like to say necessarily attacks you. It's nothing doing it to you. But when the panic blindsides you, when the panic takes you off guard, when you're in those moments where everything seems to be through the roof, when you're in those moments where everything is very intense, I know, my God, do I know, that more than anything, all you want to do is get up and head to the nearest exit. Even if you're in your own home, you just want to get up and get away from this thing. That's your old mindset, right? Okay, I want you to understand that is your old mindset. When this stuff gets really intense, when it blindsides you, when it takes you off guard, your old mindset that we are trying to work on, your old mindset is to get up, run, get up, fight this thing, get up, get away from this thing. Understand, a lot like sensitization, panic can only thrive off of fear of it. Okay, so a good way to visualize it is that panic is this burst of energy, through the roof, high intensity burst of energy, right? It's like this ball of energy has just exploded. And I know how that feels in that moment. But understand that energy needs more energy to thrive. Energy needs more energy to survive. So this panic, first and foremost, is going to pass regardless. As soon as this big ball of energy starts to decline, it's going to pass regardless. But if you feed it with more energy in the process, it's going to make it a little bit more stressful for you. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult for you. Either way, this panic response will die down. However, if you want to make it a lot easier on yourself, if you want to approach this what I call the correct way, right, you need to understand that if you feed fear with fear, you're going to make it a lot more difficult on yourself than it needs to be. So I understand how high and how intense panic can be. I understand how high and how intense panic can be, right? But when this panic strikes, you need to at least, okay, take 2 seconds, the 2-second rule. You need to at least take 2 seconds to remind yourself of what's going on. And what I mean by that is, and trust me, I know your thoughts are going a million miles an hour. I know the symptoms are through the roof. I know it's hard to even think straight in that moment. But the 2-second rule, you've got to at least take 2 seconds to take a step back in that moment and say, here's what's going on. What is it that's going on? I'm having some panic. This is not a bad thing. This is not something I need to rise up in arms against. This is not something I need to get away from or fight, right? Either or. This is not something I need to do anything about. Because when we're blindsided by that panic, our first go to knee reaction is, I need to do something about it. I either need to get away from it because it's so intense, or I need to fight it because it's so intense. We have lost faith in our ability to sit through it. We think something bad is going to happen if we don't fight against it, A, or B, try to get away from it. So the 2-second rule, when these panic attacks seem to blindside you at times, 2-second rule, you got to take a step back and remind yourself, because I know it's hard to think straight, but you got to take a step back and remind yourself there is nothing. Okay, now I want you to quote me on this. There is nothing I need to do about this. That statement in itself is extremely powerful when we're talking about panic. That statement in itself is extremely powerful when we're talking about high anxiety that feels like it's going to turn into panic. Okay? Because, like I said, a knee jerk reaction, it's so intense that we feel like we either have to fight it or get away from it as soon as possible. And with that mindset, you are hand feeding, okay? Listen to me. You are hand feeding this fear. When you have the mindset of, I need to stop this, get away from it, or fight it, whichever route you go, whichever second fear route you choose to go, you are taking a spoon and you are hand feeding the panic. You are hand feeding the fear. Fear needs fear to thrive. But when you look fear in the eye by doing the 2-second rule, reminding yourself there's nothing I need to do about this, and then just letting it happen, when you do that and when you practice that, you'll see that you're taking that spoon right out of the panic's mouth. It can no longer thrive. It can no longer get full. You're going to starve it to death, right? Now, I know that takes practice. I know that's easier said than done. I've been there. Don't forget that I've been there myself. I've been there. I've done that. I know when it's intense. I know when it blindsides you. I know the knee-jerk automatic reaction is, oh my goodness, I need to do something about this, or I need to fight this, or I need to get away from this. But understand, when you go any of those three directions, you are taking a spoon and you are hand-feeding the panic. Why? Again, because fear needs fear to thrive. So 2-second rule here. Next time you're kind of caught off guard by these high intense feelings, right? I need to remind myself there's nothing I need to do about this. That's the first thing. I need to remind myself there's nothing I need to do about this. And as I start to just let it wash over me, just let it have its way, do what you will, right? Instead of going the fight, try to get away from, argue with route, you are taking the spoon out of panic's mouth and you are no longer feeding it, because fear needs fear to thrive, right? Now, when we talk about tired nerves, when we talk about sensitization, it's the same concept. It's the same concept, except it's not as high and intense as panic, right? It's not as high and intense as panic, but it's the same concept. Acceptance will break you out of the cycle. What does this all come down to? Whether we're talking about panic attacks, whether we're talking about tired, sensitized nerves, what does this all funnel down to? It all funnels down to the same thing. Worry activates the stress response. So whether we're trying to heal your nerves over time by acceptance, living our life, no longer worrying over these thoughts and feelings, spotting the worry, stomping it out, or whether we're talking about those moments of panic, this is all going to funnel down into a nice little V shape and come out to one thing here. Worry activates the stress response. So again, whether we're talking about moments of panic or we're talking about healing your nerves over time, it's all the same concept at the end of the day. Worry activates the stress response. What is the stress response? It's your anxiety. So if you've got tired nerves and you're continuing to activate the stress response day in and day out by all the worry you do, it's no wonder your nerves are tired. Or maybe you just deal with the occasional panic attack, but you can't stand them. They're awful, right? Worry activates the stress response. So whether we're trying to get you over your panic attacks or whether we're trying to heal your nerves or both, this is all going to come down to the same thing. Worry activates the stress response. So we always need to do and practice doing the opposite of worry, whether we're talking about panic or sensitization. We always want to practice doing the opposite of worry. The two main keys, right? Live your life Because if you're laying around on the couch worried about your anxiety and your panic all day long, you're activating the stress response. So one of the two main keys is live your life, get up, show your brain that all is well. And number two, stop fighting with it all. By fighting with it all, I simply mean stop worrying with it all. Because you might call it, I'm fighting with my thoughts and feelings. You might call it, oh, I'm trying to reason with my thoughts and feelings. What you're really doing at the end of the day is worrying. And worrying is a habit. Worry is what you attach to the thoughts. Worry is what you attach to the feelings. And you got to take responsibility for that. You got to spot it and stomp it out. That doesn't mean you can never worry again in your life. It just means you need to spot that worry and practice spotting it out and getting back to living life. Live alongside these thoughts and feelings. Let them do their thing while you do your thing. So again, whether we're talking about panic or whether we're talking about tired nerves, worry activates the stress response, and that's why acceptance is the way, right? Now, this takes effort. It takes dedication. But again, I don't want to get, we've already got pretty off track here today. I don't want to get too off track. Let's bring it back into panic, right? Again, guys, panic attacks, they're high intensity. Sometimes they come out of nowhere. Sometimes they have a cause. Maybe they don't if you're in a tired nervous system. But it's going to come down to this. You got to do the opposite of worry. Stop feeding fear with fear. Take the spoon out of its mouth by doing the opposite of worry and saying, okay, I don't need to do anything about this. I will let it happen. You might not believe those words when you speak them. You might not have much faith in yourself. But do you see, after I explained the cycle, after I explained how worry activates the stress response, do you see why this is the way to go? Again, whether we're talking about panic attacks or even tired nerves, right? You got to stop activating the stress response with all of the worry, aka the second fear you do, and live your life, right? And live your life. Show your brain that all is well. So the two main keys right there in a nutshell. Break out of this cycle. Break out of this cycle. Anybody and everybody is capable. You beautiful, beautiful people, right? You just got to put some effort into it. Not every day is going to be great. Not every day is going to be jolly, but you need those days because they're perfect practice days. And if you keep that winning attitude, if you keep that winning mindset, and you put forth your best effort, and you work at this, you can absolutely retrain your brain, get rid of those fear pathways, and be the person that you want to be. But you got to give it some effort, all right? And most importantly, you got to use, right? I say this all the time. You know what I'm about to say if you're a regular here. You got to use the advice that you're being given, or else it's not really any good. All right, guys? So, whew, that was a good one. That was the stream for this morning. Good little morning stream there. I'm happy with that. We're going to switch on over to the post stream. We're going to get some spooky music going, and we're going to read some comments. So start writing your comments. Get your comments in. Let me know what you think about today's stream. Did you like it? Was it good? You learned something today? Let me know. Let's get some creepy little Halloween music going. I love it. I love it. Shouldn't take long to get it started here. Alright, there we go. Where's my favorite one right here? Alright, get us some music going. I haven't had a panic attack in a month. I've learned how to... Is that an ad? An ad that quick? Man, that's ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Alright, let's get back to comments. Where were we? I haven't had a panic attack in a month. I've learned how to let it pass over me. Excellent. Keep practicing. I finally caught alive. What's up? Welcome. Is worry ever beneficial? I mean, most things have a function. Anger is more defense, setting boundaries, for example, but worrying does it have its place too? No. No, and I'll tell you why. Because real things do happen in the real world, but if there's no action that you can take against them, then it's completely pointless anyway. So it's always pointless. It's always pointless. If there's real action that you can take against a problem that you have in your life, go take it. But worrying about it's not action, because worrying about it doesn't do anything. Some people might argue, well, worry leads to action. Well, that's not necessarily worry. If you're problem solving, that's not necessarily worry. The problem is that you're mistaking worry for problem solving. You think you're doing all the problem solving in the world. You're not actually attaching any action to that. You're not doing anything, right? you're not actually doing anything. So, let's say I've got something going on in my life, I take action against it, I do a little bit of problem solving in my head, I get my ass in gear and I do something about it. Great. You just used your mind the way it was supposed to be used. However, this worry day in and day out and day in and day out and day in and day out, people use the excuse that that's problem solving. Actually, it's not, because you're not actually doing anything. Right? You're not actually accomplishing anything. So it's really just one big bad habit, is what it is. And of course, like we've said many times today, that activates the stress response. So not only are you not solving anything, but you're also keeping yourself miserable, right? What's up, Truth? Man, I thought you liked me, Truth. It's just a Halloween, not a Halloween. It's just an Amazon wish list. People can get gifts and send them to me if they want. It's completely optional. It's completely optional, and every tip I get is wrote down in the stream as far as the tip goal goes. Yeah, every stream is every tip is displayed on the stream in the tip goal. What's up, Purple? Welcome to the stream, dude. How you doing? Uh-oh, I think we're at the end of our music list here. Let's go back. How you doing today, Perp? It's good to see you, dude. So then worry is actually misuse of problem solving. You could call it that. Yeah, you could put it that way. I like that. That's actually a good way to put it. Yeah, it's completely optional, Truth. Nobody has to buy anything off the wish list. Nobody has to tip. It's completely optional. I do it. I do this for free, and then people can decide if they want to support the channel or not. Nobody's required to. I could put it behind a paywall, but I choose not to. Whether or not you want to support is completely up to you. It's completely optional. Always has been. So, I mean, if you want to call that, taking advantage when I do these daily streams and do my best and leave it up to the people if they want to support or not, instead of putting it behind a program or a paywall like most people do, if you want to call that taking advantage, you can go to some other channel. Feel free. The door's right there. I could care less, honestly. So, we can toss disrespect back and forth all day, but let's not go that route. Let's not go that route. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe just a misunderstanding. Wonder, bro, how to deal with intrusive choices. If I choose one thing, my brain says you hate the other. Intrusive choices. So we would say that's a thought. We would say that's a worry form, right? We wouldn't complicate it, and that's what we tend to do. People tend to overcomplicate it. People tend to look into it a little bit too deeply. We need to kind of throw it in the same bucket, right? Because when we start to attach too many labels, titles, and go all sorts of different directions with it, it gets a bit complicated. So we would say intrusive choice, we would say intrusive thought, right? So, problem solving and going that route of trying to make a decision while you're sensitized. I think Dr. Claire Weeks actually addresses that in one of her books where she says indecision is pretty much a common symptom. So with that, I would say, make the best choice that you feel is for you. And when those thoughts come that try to make you question your choices, we'll chalk those up as the same intrusive thoughts as we would any other kind of thought, right? We wouldn't overcomplicate it for ourselves. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. You don't have to take up for me in chat. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. I don't know. Who knows? I appreciate that, Travis. Thank you, dude. Some days I'm so obsessive about recovering, that's all I can think about instead of just living my life. Yeah. So again, just like I answered Perp's question there, let's not look at those thoughts as any different than we would look at any other sort of a negative intrusive thought, right? Let's not look at those thoughts any different, because when we start to put titles, judgments, and labels on these things, that's when it gets complicated. That's when it gets complicated. We tend to dig a little bit too deep. We tend to dig a little bit too deep. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mitt. Some people, some people just don't have. I don't know. They're just lacking a few parts or something up there. I don't know what it is. Yeah, there's definitely no amount of do this and then I'll reveal the anxiety secret. There's definitely no amount of pay this and you can join my program. There's none of that. It's all completely free, and I try to answer questions as often as I can. I try to give the advice, as best as I can. You never have to pay a single cent. You could come in here and never tip me ever and watch my stream for years. It's completely fine. At the end of the day, though, I do appreciate the support. It's completely optional, but it does help me keep the show on the road. It keeps the lights on, and but it's completely optional. So the people that need the advice but can't afford it still get it. Can still get it. So everybody wins. Let's see. I'm almost not adding any worry during my day, but I'm very tired and DPDR still all day long. Would like this to pass. It's getting annoying. So don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Don't get annoyed. And try your best. Try your best, right? To not add any sort of negative story about what's going on. That's really what it comes down to. What is a negative story? A negative story is that worry, and that worry is what keeps that stress response pretty much alive. I, pre- I appreciate all of you guys defending me in the comments. You don't have to do that. I appreciate that though. It happens. It happens. It's gonna happen as long as I stream. That'll be something that happens from time to time. Just gotta kind of overlook it. I've been remembering the take your recovery seriously thing you said, and it's motivated me when the buts of doubt come up. I've been doing good with practicing, even though it's not perfect. And you don't have to be perfect, right? That's another thing. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody has to be perfect. Perfection is not required to make progress. That's the beautiful thing about it. If perfection was required, I definitely wouldn't have made any progress myself, right? So you definitely don't have to be perfect. I think our no, we're good. We're good. We still got some music left. We're good. We're good. I don't think so, Mint. I don't think so. Not a whole lot of people use the wish list. They just do the tips. People asked me to make the wish list for a while, so I did. I've had a few people use it, but I don't think there's any way to like break it up like that. So instead of using the word ignore, where a lot of people kind of go wrong, instead of using the word ignore, let's use the word live alongside, or the words rather, live alongside, because sometimes that word is misused. Oh gosh, this is the intense song. Okay, we'll just change that because it gets a little bit too intense. It gets a little bit too intense. We'll just change that. So the word ignore is commonly misused. So instead of using the word, oh, we're trying to ignore, which some people take as we're trying to not think that thought. Well, the thought's coming regardless, right? So instead of using the word ignore, just kind of remind yourself you're living alongside. You're not actually trying to ignore, you're living alongside, right? Let's see. It is a cool song. I agree. It is a cool song, but it gets pretty intense, and I don't know if people like that or not. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I personally have come a pretty long way, right? Like as a human being in general, since my journey. I personally have come a pretty long way, and I'm very happy, right? I'm very happy with the things that we do here. I'm very happy with the way things are ran around here. I'm not gonna lie to you though, chat. That one hurt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That rude comment hurt a little bit. To think that there's somebody, like even just one person out there that thinks I'm taking advantage. That one hurt a little bit. I'm pretty discouraged at the moment. I'm not even gonna lie to you, chat. That really just zapped me down to about zero as far as my energy goes on this stream. It's whatever. It's whatever. I thought I was doing it the appropriate way, but then you've got people out there charging thousands for the advice. I'm doing it for free. I thought I was doing it the right way, but apparently there's still some people out there that don't quite believe that. Pulls on my heartstrings a little bit upsetting. Um, finally slept last night. Feel like went through a portal. Nice, dude. I'm glad you finally got some sleep. I know you were struggling with that. Hope the little tips I gave you on Discord helped. I'm unable to be thankful to anything after panic attack about being thankful. After that, the gratefulness just feels gone. I feel selfless, which I'm not. Well, you're not selfish person. I can't speak today. You're not a selfish person, right? But I think when we have these strong emotions or we have these strong thoughts, we tend to overcomplicate it and we investigate way too deeply. And that's really what it all comes down to at the end of the day when we're talking about the anxiety cycle in general. We're talking about negative emotions in general. We investigate a little bit too deeply, right? Having some sort of party or something. I don't know, learned that in school and it's stuck. In the Hall of the Mountain King. I don't think I've ever heard that. I think I've ever heard of that. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are right. Time to move on. It's time to move on. Time to move on. We're going to have a great day today. We're going to have a great day today, chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. I don't know. It's always been one of my biggest pet peeves, I guess you could say. It's like, but that's one of those things, right? You can't make everybody happy. You can't force people to see the things, to see things the way that you see them. So you're absolutely right, Rule. Absolutely right, dude. I got a little snappy, didn't I? Told him to hit the door. Told him to hit the door, a little bit snappy there. Hey, I appreciate that, Perp. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, see, sometimes as a human being, you gotta use your own advice from time to time, right? Let's see. I wish I could just do a loop of that song continuously. Make things a lot easier. Mints! I appreciate you, Mints. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mint. We're on record pace, by the way, guys. We are on record pace. We're on a 27-day streak, which is just absolutely insane, and I really appreciate it. By the way, it's completely optional. Sorry, I'm still snappy. God bless. God bless. You are the best, most genuine, straightforward anxiety help there is. Your time and effort is worth gold, and everyone needs to make a living and survive. I appreciate that, Mint. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, we are on record pace on a 27-day streak, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. Mint says I'm back. Welcome back to the chat, Mint. It's good to have you here. Good to have you. Always good to have you. Thank you for that, Mint. I appreciate you. Let me drop the link to the Discord at least one more time this stream. Right there. I planned on doing a little bit of a YouTube short later, so we'll see what happens with that. I appreciate that. Thank you for that nice comment. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate all the love, guys. Appreciate it. And I apologize. I apologize for letting that get under my skin a little bit too much. Got to use acceptance. Gotta remember that for next time. What's up? What's up, Ford? Welcome, dude. It's been a minute since I've seen you. How have you been? Welcome, welcome. Wow, a very early stream. Hi, Wonder Bro. What's up, Gina? How you doing? Welcome. Hope you're having a great morning. Yeah, I was telling Chad earlier that we don't normally do these morning type streams, but every now and then I like to do a morning stream because there's a good handful of people that can't catch the later streams, so it helps them out a bit to do a morning stream on occasion. Because for a lot of people in chat, it's not exactly morning. It's like perfect in the afternoon their time. So I like doing the occasional morning stream. Okay, bud, good summer of healing, but falling back into it a bit this week. Oh, who's that? Kate! Kate! Thank you so much, Kate. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Man, that's a long... that is a long notification sound. I didn't realize that was like a 10-second notification sound when I picked that one. I just wanted to pick something kind of creepy and Halloween themed. Thank you so much, Kate, for the $10 tip that puts us at 20 today. We're on record pace, man. 27-day streak. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Showing some love to our morning viewers today. Showing some love to our morning viewers. Let's see, back to the comments. Again, thank you, Kate. Thank you, Mint. I appreciate, love you guys. Falling back into it a bit this week. It's okay to have those rough weeks. It's okay to have those rough days. A perfect opportunity to say, hey, okay, maybe I'm making this mistake, but it's time to get back on board. Or, hey, maybe I'm making this mistake, but it's time to get back on track, right? That's all that is. That's all that is. It has nothing to do with going back in progress. It has nothing to do with any of that, as long as you take advantage of it. And by take advantage of it, I mean spot kind of where you're going wrong. Am I doing a little bit of worry here? Am I doing a little bit of second fear? You know, it's all the same. Am I doing this here? Am I doing this there? Yes. If the answer to that is yes, okay, time to get back on track. Let's be productive. Let's have a good day, and you know, let's just get right back on board with it. I can't talk today, man, for some reason. Yeah, let's show Kate and Mint all the love in the world. I appreciate it, guys. I share the 2 main keys and recommend the channel to a lot of people who make nothing helps. What should I do to get rid of anxiety comments? Ah, yes, those are very common, which ironically enough, those kind of comments in themselves are just littered with second fear, right? Littered with worry. I wonder what that nervous system thinks about comments like that. So I appreciate it. Word of mouth really helps, and it truly helps to grow the channel. That's you know, that's the best way to grow a channel. Let's see, let's put a new song on. There we go. Actually, let's start from the beginning. I'm not a huge fan of this one. Well, it's alright, actually. It's alright. Because that's how I found it, and it's literally the best resource. It really is. Word of mouth is the best way to grow a channel. So, you know, whenever you guys recommend the channel or whatever it is that you do, you know, friends or family, whoever, whatever, it really does help, and I appreciate it. A live podcast with Dr. Claire Weeks, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome? Just an hour, at least, just an hour. I wonder how that would go. I wonder how that would go. That would be interesting. No, you did not miss the podcast. Nobody has missed the podcast. We haven't done our first one yet. We've got it set up. We've got the way that we're going to do it down. We figured out that we could do it over Discord and that it would work perfectly as far as the audio is concerned. We have not got around to the first one yet. I got a place over on the Discord under the podcast tab where you can submit. It's like 5 questions. They're very simple. 5 question little application if you want to be on the podcast, right? Because we can't have a podcast without guests, of course. And I haven't checked those applications here recently, but I'm going to see who we got interested over there here soon, hopefully. And maybe we can get that first podcast going. Maybe we can get that first podcast going. I'd like to do it because I want to keep things interesting. I want to keep things spicy. You know what I mean? I want to do new things. That's why I started doing the TikToks and the YouTube Shorts. I want to mix it up a little bit. I want to mix it up a little bit, and keep things interesting around here. Keep things interesting for you guys. So hopefully we can do that first podcast. I need to review the applications. I want Terry on the podcast. I do too, but I don't know if he's interested. It doesn't seem like his thing, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Francis, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Francis, thank you so much for the $20 tip. I really appreciate you. We are 10 away from today's tip goal, man. We are on record pace, chat, 27-day streak. Show some love to our morning viewers, man. Show some love. You guys are kind of competing with my late night viewers. You're kind of competing amongst each other, and you guys are awesome, I will say. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. You're all awesome. Morning, night, doesn't matter. You're all awesome. I apologize for hurting your feelings. I didn't want to. I had no right to say anything. It was none of my business. It's okay. I shouldn't have been snappy. I shouldn't have been so snappy. I don't want you to actually hit the door and leave. I want to keep you here. So I apologize for being snappy towards your comment. Maybe you're just, maybe it's a miscommunication. Maybe you've never seen the wish list thing before. Let me explain it briefly. So the Amazon wish list, just like tips, is a completely optional thing. It's not something that is required, right? And not a whole lot of people actually use the wish list anyway. It's just a fun little thing that you can kind of throw together. And if your viewers would rather send you a gift, right, then they can do that. They can choose something off that list and they can send it to you. I don't expect to get the things that are on the list. I don't expect to ever get everything that's on that list. It's just a bunch of random stuff that I picked out that I put on there that people can look through. And if they want to send me a gift that I'm going to get, and open up, then they can do that. But I don't expect to ever get everything that's on that list. I don't. It's just so much random stuff that I threw on there. So maybe it was miscommunication. Maybe you've never heard of that. But having an Amazon wish list is a very common thing for streamers to do. Almost everyone who streams on YouTube or Twitch has an Amazon wish list in their bio. It's just a fun way for viewers to send a personal gift if they want to. I don't expect to get everything that's on there. So maybe it was just some miscommunication. I definitely never want to take advantage of people with gifts from Amazon or with tips, but the tips do help me keep the lights on and they help me keep this show going. I can't do this without keeping my bills paid, so the tips help. The tips help me get there. But the Amazon wishlist itself is just another optional thing that people can choose to do if they want to because they want to do it, not because I expect it, right? So there's my side of the story. There's my side of the story. I hope it makes more sense to you now. Like I said, maybe it was just miscommunication. I apologize for being snappy towards your comment. And yeah, let's put it behind us. Water under the bridge. There we go. That was probably a longer explanation than you wanted, but I just wanted to get my side of things out there. So I hope that makes more sense to you now. Water under the bridge. Let's move on. I don't need ice cream. You don't need ice cream today, eh? So you're making progress. I love it. Welcome, dude. Water under the bridge. Let's all move on. A dog just came running at me and a tall guy came running after yelling, no. I was like, okay, I accept, but then the dog was happy and it wasn't guarding or anything. Nice, okay, so you got some pets in. Don't bully me anymore. I love you, A. I love you, dude. Yeah, no one is mad. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little snappy. I was a little mad. I had my feelings hurt a little bit, but I'm over it. I'm over it. It's whatever. It's water under the bridge. Miscommunication. No big deal. Let's move on. Yes, you are pronouncing it right. You're welcome. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate that, Francis. Thank you. Thank you for watching. There's a lot of different resources out there on the internet as far as channels that do this sort of thing goes, and I appreciate you guys picking me. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. Wonder Bro, do you still get anxious and panic sometimes? No, I get what's called, and I get asked this question more often than you'd probably think. I get what's called, and what I like to call normal people anxiety. And I'm not calling you guys not normal, but I'm saying your nerves are tired, right? So normal people anxiety in my book is what you would experience. Let's say, for example, the loss that I went through recently. That made me a bit nervous because I was like, what am I doing? How am I going to survive from here on out? I got so much more on my plate now. So, of course, when it all first happened and went down, I was a bit nervous. And feeling nervous or, feeling a bit anxious over something that happens is completely normal. It's not a problem. It doesn't turn into a problem unless you start adding all that second fear. So, I have what I call normal, quote unquote, normal people anxiety over things that happen, right? But I use acceptance in those regards. And that's why I say acceptance is good life advice, not just sensitized nerves advice, right? So being nervous over events is the same, it's a normal human thing. And that's what I experience, and you'll always experience that. Like I said, it doesn't turn into a problem unless you fry your nerves with a ton of second fear. Pets are in the present moment without worry. Yes, I agree. Are you a sensitive person, bro? On certain topics, I can be. I'm not gonna lie to you. On certain topics, I can be. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I love helping people, and I love trying to help people heal. Right? It's what I love to do, and it's what I've wanted to do, and it's what I have been doing for a very long time. So on certain topics, I can be a bit of a sensitive person. Most of the time, I'm more of a fuck it kind of person, but on certain topics like my YouTube channel, for example, I can be a bit sensitive to certain comments. Yeah, I need to work on it a bit, but yeah, certain things can make me a bit sensitive. They certainly can. Things that I'm passionate about, like my channel, I can be a bit sensitive over it. I'm doing a lot better with it, I will say that. Trolls used to bother me, and I'm not calling Truth Speaker a troll. We just had a bit of miscommunication there. But like actual trolls that just say dumb shit, they used to bother me more than they do nowadays. Now I kind of find it humorous. I kind of find it laughable. So I've definitely worked on it in that regard. But certain things can strike a chord. You know what I mean? Yep, that dog was just having a good time. Now it's in the Mountain Troll King again. I hate to hear that, eh? I hate to hear it. Hey, we got a $10 tip. I don't want to say their name. You don't have to have Streamlabs to tip. No, you don't. You can use the link in the description to tip. That'll get the notification on screen. But you can also just use the email and go directly through the app, right? You won't get the notification on stream, but I'll still get it. And that's what just happened actually with a $10 tip. I don't want to say the person's real name, so I'm just going to leave it up to them to announce who they were in chat. But thank you so much for the $10 tip. You know what that means, chat. That puts us at tip goal for the day. Thank you guys so much for that. We are moving on to a 28-day streak. We are on record pace, chat. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, chat. That is insane, man. I say this pretty much every time we hit tip goals, so you guys are probably sick of hearing it by now, I would say. But when I first started the streak system, I did not think, I thought, okay, occasionally we'll hit like a 10-day streak or something, then we'll have to restart it. And, that's what I kind of figured would happen. But here we are on a 28-day streak. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Helps me out a ton, man. Helps me out a ton. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, see, look at that. Look at that. You know, our morning viewers are badasses too. All right, our morning viewers are badasses too. I love you guys. We might have to do. We might have to start doing morning streams more often. 28 days, man. It's insane, dude. I'm telling you, it's insane. It is insane. I did not think it would happen like that, but it did. I appreciate it. Also, guys, I'm going to start trying to remember. I'm going to start trying to remember to remind you guys because I forget myself all the freaking time. But if you'll take just a second to hit that like button, man, it helps the channel grow. It brings more attention to the stream so that more people that need this sort of advice can get it. It does a lot of good things, and I would be a very happy man if you want to hit that like button for me real quick. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Let's see. I also want to set the time bot up with a new thing to make it a little bit easier for you guys. Um, all right. Hold on. Let's see. All right. Let me set this up. Somebody asked for the link, I believe. Are you which link are you referring to? Yeah, the email on screen is through PayPal, and if you're looking for the tip link, that'll give you the little dancing pumpkins and the notifications and all that good stuff. That is going to be the first link in the description. However, I'm going to make it a bit easier on you guys right now, and I hope this works. I'm not sure. I'll make it a bit easier on you guys, and I will set up a Nightbot command that will drop that link in the chat for you guys. Let's see if it works. I just put it on there. What was that? I'm not on the screen. Hey, Truth, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Truth. And I also just want to say that I think it's great that even though we had a bit of a misunderstanding between one another, and you know, you were on one page and I was on another. Even though that happened, I just want to say I think it's great that we were able to kind of cool down after a minute and just come together and realize that it was just a bit of a misunderstanding. I think that's great, and I'm happy to still have you around. So I'm glad it ended that way. Thank you. I appreciate the $5 tip. Thank you so much for that. Let's add that to the tip goal. That could have went many ways, but I'm glad it ended the way that it did. Did you figure out the source alignment? No. No. Shamefully, I have to say no. I didn't get it perfect. I think I got it a lot better than what it was. I think I got it a lot better than what it was. Um, with my on-screen ruler that I tried to use, absolutely ridiculous. Um, so I think I improved the alignment, but I don't think it's where it needs to be. I don't think it's where it needs to be at all. So for those of you who kind of get confused on where to find that link in order to get the notification on screen, I set up a Nightbot timer to do that for you. So every now and then the Nightbot is going to drop the link to that, and hopefully you can just click on it right from chat and be able to do that instead of having to close the live chat out and do it that way. So I don't know why I didn't do that a long time ago. I really don't. I don't know why I didn't do that a long time ago, but it should make it a bit easier on you guys that do wanna support. You can put hashtags in shorts. You know, I never thought about that. I wonder if the hashtags actually work. I know you can hashtag actual videos too, which I used to do a long time ago, but I didn't notice any significant difference. So, but maybe the shorts are a bit different because it's kind of set up like TikTok in a way. So, I'm sorry, I don't know where the burp came from. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try that out next time I do a short. I had one planned for later, so we'll see if I that happens. Let me have a go. You really want to fix those boxes, don't you? I know it's aggravating. I know it's a little aggravating to see the boxes not straight. Vivid dreams. Vivid dreams is not something that's often spoke about with anxiety, but it is something that happens, and it is something that is actually fairly common. I know that seems like one of the more rare symptoms, but believe it or not, a lot of people in the anxious state experience vivid dreams. Not necessarily bad dreams, right? Not necessarily bad dreams, but vivid dreams. You got to think about it. Your brain's kind of on what's a good way to put this? Your brain is kind of on overload. It's kind of really high in intensity right now. So the fact that you go to sleep and experience some vivid dreams, nothing out of the usual, nothing out of the norm there. Right click on one of the sources, maybe camera box, then transform, edit transform, copy the position and size numbers and paste them in the other box using the same menu options. That's actually a really good idea. I don't know why I never thought of that. That's actually a really good idea. Why have I never thought about that? Here I am pulling out rulers and everything else, and never consider just copying the source over. Wow. All right, I'm gonna have to do that. Thank you for that, Mint. Seriously, I never considered that. Thank you, thank you. I get completely what you're saying. In the comments, one in the middle, you can use transform center on screen or center horizontal if you want. Okay, wow, okay, I never considered that. Let's switch over here for just a second and let's give that a try. So the chat border, let me see, transform center on screen. Look at that, look how off it was. Okay, we got some work to do. Wow. We have got some major, major work to do now that Mint has pointed this out to me. Where to even begin? Where to even begin? Okay, chat box. We'll go ahead and center that on screen. There we go. Where's the background for the chat? Chat border, webcam border. I do have my sources named to make it a bit easier. So at least there's that. Okay, there's the background for the chat box. Center on screen. So now that's completely centered. That's completely centered. So now we need to pull these down just a bit so they're not so in the way. And they're not covered up there. Okay, so now that I realize that that's even a thing, like the transform thing is even a thing, I got it. I got it from here. I should have it from here. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's see. Now, how did you? Okay. Right click. Transform. Edit transform. Copy the position. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not getting any numbers here. Oh no. Oh no. It's not actually giving me any numbers with that. It's not actually giving me any numbers with that to copy from the source. But you know what we could do, maybe. Let me see. Well, we're making progress, that's all I know. That's all I know for sure. So we know for a fact that the center box is now actually centered, whereas before it was way off. You see how far it moved. Where's my banner? I need to grab my banner. And move that now. Straighten that up a bit. Because now we can actually make that a bit bigger. So there's that. Alright, so we know at least for a fact that one of them is completely straight now. We know that for a fact. One of them is completely straight. So let's do it like this. Hold up. We're gonna set all of these to 12. And then if I come over here and set all of these to 12, does that mean these two boxes are the same size now? And then if I go in here, okay, appreciate all the help, man. Are those the same size now? Looks like you disable snapping. Maybe it can help with the side boxes. Settings, general source alignment. Let me see. Settings, general. It says I've got it enabled. Settings, general source alignment enabled. Snap sensitivity 10. Snap sources to edge of screen. Yeah, it says I've got it enabled. Let's do this. I think we got it now though, right? Like that's pretty on point. I still think one of the boxes might be wider than the other, but other than that, I think we got it. See, that's really the only issue here is that one box is not the same size as the other box. But see, I can do this. I can just make an exact copy. Like, for a fact. And then hold on. Then we'll do like this. Yeah, and now I'm wanting to like get it perfect. Huh. I think that's good. I think that's good. That's that's pretty damn even, chat. Like if you compare the gaps, like on both boxes, like the gap over here between that and the chat box, and if you compare the gap right here to the ghost over there, the gaps are pretty much the same now. The gaps are pretty much the same. I think that's good. I think that's good. That's well, I mean that's a hell of a lot straighter and more even than it was before. I know for a fact, especially where we centered that middle box. I think we're good. What's up, Edward? Welcome, dude. We're just over here trying to get these boxes straight, man. This is something we've been doing for days now, but I think we finally hit about as good as it's gonna get. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody's gonna notice anything being slightly off unless you're really, really looking for it. Center the boxes in vertical? Let's see what happens when I do that. Center vertical. Like that? Center vertical. Okay. I have centered both boxes vertically. The deed has been done. Wait. Oh, okay. What do you think? What do you think? You think that's acceptable? Think that's acceptable? This has been a really interesting stream, hasn't it? Hasn't it? This has been the most interesting stream that we've had in a while. It's been quite interesting. Indeed. Indeed. Oh wait, I gotta pull my little ghost over a little bit more. One of them is upside down. Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god. Okay. Has that been the whole problem here this whole freaking time? Has that been the issue the whole time? I couldn't figure it out. It's because one of them was upside down. Pretty sure that's been the issue this entire time. How did how did I not realize that? How did I not realize that? One of them was indeed upside down. Alright, it's obvious that there's still a little something going on. I think one of them is like slightly bigger than the other one, but other than that, that's like 100 times better. Thank you for that, Mint. I appreciate it. That's like 1,000 times better than it was. So we're leaving it there. We're leaving it there for now. But that was definitely a huge improvement. So I appreciate the help, Mint. Oh wow, I think my mic was muted that whole time. I've been rambling this whole time and my mic was muted. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I don't recall what I said to repeat it, but it probably wasn't that important anyway. All right. I do know that I was saying that needed to happen, Mint, so I appreciate it. We tried to work on it the other day. It didn't exactly go very smoothly, but with those few new tools that you taught me, that helped a lot. How long has my mic been muted? Oh boy. Oh boy, who knows? Who knows? Probably for a while. It has been an interesting stream, hasn't it? It has been an interesting stream today. I was pretty confused. I would imagine so. I have no clue, no clue how long my mic was muted for. I was just over here talking up a storm, dude. It's been muted for a good solid couple minutes. Nice. Lovely. Awesome. Wow. Go me. Go me. What an interesting stream indeed. Great point of the stream, though. I appreciate that, man. Thank you again for your help, though, for real. Learning those little tools helps a lot. Alright, you know what time it is? You know what time it is, chat? I think it's time. I think it's time that we. Am I having an off day? It's the morning. I'm telling you. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm at my peak, man. I'm at my prime at night. In the morning, I'm a little off. I'm a little off. That's what it is. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. All right. I think it's time. I think it's fair to say that it's time to go ahead and bring this one to an end. It's been a good one. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. It's been an interesting one, but it's been a good one. So I think it's time that we bring it to an end. And you all know what that means. It's time to listen to our channel theme song, as we like to call it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna head on over and do that. I love you guys. I love you guys, and I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all that you do. Seriously, you know, it's a back and forth, and we help each other, and I love what we got going here. So thank you guys so much for everything. Leave a like on the stream if you enjoyed it, and who knows, we might still do our afternoon stream. Maybe it's possible. I don't know, but thank you guys so much for everything. We're gonna head on over. We're gonna listen to our channel theme song. All right, as we like to call it. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for everything. Leave a like, and I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer. I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die?